Welcome to the second installment of our Customer Value Journey series. Last week, we did an overlook of this 8-step framework you see here, and then a deep dive into the awareness stage. Today, we are going to be looking at the next 2 steps, the engage stage and the subscribe stage. This is really where digital marketing can make an impact. There's a lot of content out there that you can create that kind of revolves around these 2 stages, like Instagram polls and webinars and newsletters, all that good stuff, but we'll go in an in-depth look at all that coming up.
Welcome back to The Obsessed Marketer, the podcast designed for you, the small business owner looking to jumpstart your business and learn quick marketing strategies that you can take with you to increase your sales, reach, and growth. I'm Andrew Hayes.
And I'm Helen Berkey.
And we're back again this week for another part of our Customer Value Journey series. If you missed the first part where we went over the awareness stage, you can click the card here on YouTube or go to the show notes below and listen to that because this is just a continuation.
Yeah. I'm really excited that we're doing this series because this is just nitty gritty down to what a business owner should know. This is the basics of how digital marketing works, pretty much.
This is how we do what we do.
Yeah. And it's proven it works.
And it works.
This is the framework that VS subscribes to. It's a digital marketer framework who's a partner with us, and it works. This is how we set up everything, and it's been proving to work for us. So
we're going to continue on with our Customer Value Journey series today, and we're kind of giving you a 2-for-1 today. We're doing 2 of them, the engage and subscribe stage, because they kind of go very well together.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it, hey?
Yeah. All right. So engage stage. It is what it says. It's engagement. It's getting people to interact and engage with your brand. Mm-hmm. So grabbing the attention. So the awareness is the first step. You can grab somebody's attention, but if they don't start engaging with your brand, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't, you can't really do much.
Yeah. Conversions can't take place unless your audience is like interacting with you pretty much.
Yes.
At this stage of the customer value journey, you need to get your target audience to read your article, watch your video, pop up a question in your chat box, interact with you in some way, or even like on your social media posts.
You can make your audience aware of you all you want, but it doesn't really matter if they're not interacting with you or at least engaging with the content.
Yeah, if they're tuning you out, you might as well not be there because in their mind, like you're not even existing. They're scrolling past your stuff on their feed. It's like they're not even following you at that point.
Think of it like standing on the town square screaming and everybody's just walking by.
Just like the guy in Oshkosh.
Yeah, the guy in our corner.
Yeah.
Does that.
So how do people engage when it comes to content marketing?
So we have a really good example here from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Okay, They got a YouTube video about general vehicle maintenance.
Can you put in the O'Reilly theme song behind us, please?
Yeah, here it is.
O'Reilly
Auto
Parts. Okay, anyway, sorry. I just can't not sing that jingle when I hear O'Reilly. And that's a great awareness. What is that, sonic branding? It's
sonic branding.
Marketing.
We'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so O'Reilly has a YouTube video about general vehicle maintenance. So people who are watching this video are actively engaging with the brand. That is a key term, actively. They are tuned in, watching this video.
Think about it. If you're not a mechanic like me, of course I'm going to YouTube and looking up how to, get headlight fluid or something.
What is that saying?
No,
I don't know. Don't ask me though. So this is a great piece of engaging content. They even throw in some promotion in here, like they will recommend certain O'Reilly products that can help if any of these maintenance issues arise when you're checking out your car. But to be fair, it's not like they're really pushing the sale. In this engage stage, you're not trying to push the promotion and the sale too much. If it works and it like can fit into this video like it does for O'Reilly, that's great. Yeah. You might get somebody to buy something, but it's about being like subtle about it and not too pushy. This video is free value, you know?
So it's free value and also it's shareable. So, say maybe you're a father and your kid's like, how do I do this? And you just gotta send them a YouTube link.
Yeah, I mean, like, figure this out on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very good shareable content, which is a huge part of engaging content. You want it to be shareable.
Yes, exactly.
That's one of the key points in content for this.
And that's one way you can get people to engage with your content when it comes to content marketing. But let's go into the other side of things, social media marketing.
Speaking of shareable.
Yes.
it's mostly social media, like YouTube obviously was social media, but more specifically, social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. This can be as simple as a tweet asking for a response from your audience.
Yeah, engaging content. So, for example, like Starbucks here. And you know what? It's an easy question. Everybody kind of has an answer to it. I mean, obviously, if you're following Starbucks or in that kind of realm, you're going to have an answer to that, and it's going to incline people to actually engage with that conversation.
You can keep it kind of generic in whatever field you're in. And then these people might be replying to that tweet, so their followers then see that thread of tweets. So having shareable content or having people reach out to you in your social media is super valuable.
Yeah, and then we could also go with other social media tactics, like say, go over to Instagram, for example. Polls on Instagram are super easy. I always find myself actually, no matter what the question is, like even if I don't even really have an answer to it, I'll tap on a poll on an Instagram story or a reel. That's another way to get people to engage. And then also just simple questions.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is the more engagement that you receive on social media too, the higher you're going to rank and show up on people's feeds as well. So trying to garner that engagement and not have it be so promotional all the time. What is it? The 80-20 rule?
Yeah.
80% of your content should be actually engaging content and 20% can be promotional.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, you can do stuff that's not just like asking questions. If it's just something shareable, like if you are a clothing brand, maybe put one of your shirts on a cute puppy and take a video of him walking down the street. I will share that video. I will share that video. I will send it to my mom. I will send it to my grandma. I will send it to everybody. So as long as you're making quality, engaging, valuable content that people want to see, that's a great way to get engagements.
Yeah. And always keep in mind of your customer avatar as well and what they kind of want to see.
Yeah. Don't be too crazy with that kind of stuff. Like make it make sense for your brand.
Of course. Give some tips and tricks. Make it entertaining for your audience. Put your brand voice behind it.
Okay, so the next area of content that can be pretty helpful in the engagement stage are community management groups. And we talked about this in the awareness stage too. But my favorite example of this is Johnson & Johnson, a family company. They have a community called Baby Center where expecting families can post questions or stories, and this helps give them valuable information while also helping Johnson & Johnson promote their products. So it's like a mom saying, I just had my baby and this diaper rash won't go away, and then somebody else coming in and being like, oh, I use this Johnson & Johnson baby powder, and they're like, it's a way to pull yourself like out of the conversation. Like you're still around it. Obviously it's a Johnson & Johnson like community like forum kind of thing, and there's Johnson & Johnson products, but it's the consumers themselves helping each other out, which kind of brings it down to a relatable level, because people trust their friends and their family and actual people way more than they're going to trust a brand.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're hearing it from a real person who's gone through a similar situation as you, definitely going to believe them more. I mean, come on, how many reviews have you read? How many recommendations have you taken from your friends? What would you do in this situation?
Yeah.
And that also kind of goes into one of our last blocks here, the promote stage, which we will be talking about way later on. But it kind of alludes to it. So that's a good example of a community engagement. So that's a quick little overview of the engage stage. So now from the engage stage, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them to subscribe.
Yes.
Okay. And so let's get into that a little bit. What's the subscribe stage?
Yeah. So that's basically you getting your customers or your prospect their information. That's you capturing their information, their name, their email address, all that good stuff, so that you can follow up with them. That's a very important thing. If you have all these people engaging on your social media, it's kind of pointless unless you can follow up with them and get them through the customer value journey, get them to convert, get them to promote, So it's all about moving the needle and getting people to move along their value journey.
And it also helps you to collect data points on your potential customers and your avatar so that you can actually make data-driven decisions when it comes to your marketing, and also helps you further on down the customer value journey. So let's talk about some ways that we can get people to subscribe and what kind of data that we can collect from that engagement.
Because it's not as easy as it used to be.
No.
It's becoming harder and harder to get people's information because we are moving towards such a privacy-driven like online world where people don't want to give up their stuff. So back to the point of providing value. You need to make sure that's valuable so people will give you their information. They will be willing to give it to you
if you make good content.
Yeah. So obviously if it's crappy content, they're not going to want to give you stuff. So make sure that it's a polished diamond that you're giving them, you know? The subscribe stage is collecting somebody's data, asking them to fill out a form or something. So what kind of things does a small business owner want to collect from these people?
I mean, some of the things that we want to find out, easy stuff, name, email, a way to get a hold of them. And then it kind of spans off from there based on what you're kind of offering, right? So for example, would you give out your address, right, if I was offering you maybe a newsletter?
No.
An email newsletter?
No.
Okay.
Why? It doesn't make sense to me. Why would I do that?
Why would you give them your, yeah. You're not sending me something in the mail.
Yeah.
We can understand if it was a magazine.
Yes.
But it's not, but if I was maybe offering you a free sample of new shampoo that came out.
Oh my gosh, take everything. You can take my social security number too. Oh my gosh, free sample?
Yeah,
free sample? That's value. That's value. I'll give you anything you want to get.
I think that's called being cheap. So the point we're trying to get here at is that if you're doing steps 1 and 2 very well, the customer value journey, all right, the awareness and the engagement stage, people are going to be willing to subscribe. Good content will get people to subscribe and want more from you. So let's go into some examples from some of the categories that we've been bringing up. So for content marketing, some examples are, as we talked about before, subscribing to a newsletter is an example. So say me as a young marketing professional wants to get some information on a new idea or some new marketing strategies out there in the world. I would subscribe to maybe a marketing newsletter, maybe from viralsolutions.net.
Or maybe you're a college student and you fill out a form to get a free sample of face cream.
Yeah, because that's so expensive. I'm in my dorm room. I can only afford ramen noodles.
I can only afford ramen noodles and free samples.
But there we go. That is, for content marketing purposes, it's just simple things like that. Let's move on to community management. Now, there's a couple examples of companies that do this really well. And one is, back into the skincare kind of makeup kind of line, Sephora.
Sephora, yeah. So kind of like how the Johnson & Johnson community forum is that we just talked about. Sephora has one similar to that, except you have to create an account for this. So Sephora gets your data from when you create an account. So you have
email address,
username,
age,
probably date of birth on there. A lot of those kind of accounts that ask for your date of birth. So, but they're getting a lot of value. They're getting pretty much like a social media platform. And we'll put an image up on the screen of kind of what this looks like. So this platform Sephora has, people can post selfies of the makeup looks that they made with Sephora products, and they can add what products they were. So people can be like, ooh, I want to try that look out. Add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. They can buy the products. So it's a way for Sephora members and users to have a community aspect to it, but also it helps Sephora because their products are getting promoted.
And so people are subscribing to this platform and hearing information from people who are promoting it. Again, kind of from people up higher in the customer value journey, talking to the people down lower who are just subscribing and want to see what people are doing with some of the Sephora products.
Yep. Now we'll kind of put a spin on this. So advertising can also be part of the subscribe stage, but more so from a retargeting experience and not necessarily them filling out a form, but people accepting cookies on your website.
Yeah, and let's talk about what retargeting is for someone who might not know what that is.
So retargeting is basically, if say you're shopping around and you're on Target's website, you have to accept their cookies on their website. And then you leave that website and you're on Instagram or something, and then you get a Target ad, maybe even specific to what you were looking at on their website. So
retargeting. Have you ever seen that with Amazon? I do that all the time. I'll go on Instagram and I'll see some products that I might be interested in my Instagram feed.
So the name kind of explains what it is. It's companies retargeting that audience back to what they were looking at.
Yes. So, so let's go back then. So they're retargeting people.
Yep. So that audience person, they accept the cookies that you have on your website, and then they can use that information and start targeting you with social media ads, Google display ads, all that kind of stuff. So they're They are subscribing in the way that they're giving your information. It's just the one-click accept cookies. They're not filling it out, but they still are giving information just by saying that. And I think, like we said before, we're moving towards an opt-in future. This might shift in the future, but for right now, cookies are another way to get subscriptions from your audience.
So it never used to be like that. It used to be, you know, cookies were part of website experience no matter what. If you opted out of them, you didn't really have a choice. Now it's an opt-in, so therefore we can put it under the subscribe stage.
Yes.
So that's where we're talking about for advertising.
Yeah.
And then last one here, copywriting.
Yeah, let's talk about copywriting specifically for the subscribe stage. So you want it to be very simple, short and sweet and to the point, because they are just about to take an action. They're just about to fill out a form. They're just about to do something like that. So you want it to be, take this next step with us button. You don't want a lot of fluff. You don't want to muddle it up with a bunch of different options. You want to give them one option and keep it very short and sweet.
Yep. We want to not overwhelm the customer or the donor, potential donor or potential customer with too many options and too many things to have to do to try to get more information from you. Again, easy, simple, breezy, beautiful cover girl.
It's like a... You said that and I was just, it's like a layup in basketball. You lay it up and they just dunk it in. So basketball, makeup, same thing. Okay, so that was a look at the subscribe stage. So now now in this series, you know about the awareness stage, the engagement stage, and the subscribe stage.
And now in the next episode, we're going to go into some more of these. Convert and excite.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that next week on The Obsessed Marketer. If you're liking what you're hearing so far and you want to keep going on with our series, you can subscribe to the podcast for free, available on every podcast platform known to man, pretty much. And you can also subscribe here on YouTube as well. And if you need a little help with this as you're going along with it, you can get a free marketing audit of your business from us, Viral Solutions. Just click the free marketing audit button at the top of the page and we look at every little aspect of your business and then we run through this customer value journey with you, customer avatar and your brand script, and it's free. Viralsolutions.net to take advantage of that. All right, Holland, we're talking Convert and Excite next week.
Super excited. Stay tuned, guys.
We'll see you next week.